Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is going to be yet another reading on the inauguration scheduled for January 20th. I was listening to Susan Lin today. If you are not familiar with Susan Lin, you should check her out. An amazing intuitive, very entertaining to listen to. I listen to her on my drives to work when I have to commute. It's again one of my guilty pleasures. And she puts out a video or two a week, typically. And then she also has spiritual videos she puts up on Wednesday. So shout out to Susan Lin. She was pointing out that in her spirits guys, when they talk to her, they see that right before the inauguration, Biden does something that would delay the inauguration. And listening to her, just like you guys listen to me, it's like, give us some encouraging news so we have something to hold on to. And I was listening to her and her thoughts as to what might happen. And I realized that when like Gary and I have done readings, or when I've done readings on the inauguration coming up, I usually focus on three things that could delay the inauguration. One was the election. There might be a delay in electing the House Speaker because there were Republicans and they weren't going to vote for Mike Johnson. And that would delay things because you couldn't count the electoral votes. The second thing would have been the 14th Amendment, that Donald Trump can't take office because he's an insurrectionist. And that's a problem. Well, they got their House Speaker, so they counted the votes on time, and nobody yet has brought up the 14th Amendment. Seems like it's, the barn door is closed on that at this point. Seems like you would have wanted to do that prior to counting the electors. So that left the third thing I usually said was like, Biden or the Biden administration talks about election interference. And Susan Lin's of the opinion that even if he spilled the beans on everything, a lot of Americans wouldn't understand it. For them, the election was done 6 weeks ago. Why are we talking about this now? No, again, short attention span theater, which is why Trump was saying the election was stolen a day after the election results were done. Well, they were still counting. He was saying it was stolen, actually. And that, in a group of people will be pissed off. Another group of people just don't care because they're just struggling to make a living, and that it wouldn't resonate with people. And those are the three things that I go down, which is why when Gary and I do readings on this, we just seem to get, nothing seems to come from it. At least our recent readings, where that nothing seems to come from it. And I think, again, because that window of opportunity is now too short to make a difference. It should have been something that was talked about for weeks ago. She brought up a different scenario with War Powers Acts and things along those lines. Rather than reading on that, I'm just going to do a general read to see, will there be a delay in the presidential inauguration, which is scheduled for January 20th, 2025. I can follow up if the answer is yes. I can follow up to say, can you describe what might predicate that delay? But let's take all the assumptions out. It's like, is there going to be a delay because of election interference? That might be too specific, because the answer could be no, it's not delayed due to that. It could be delayed because Donald Trump trips and falls down a bunch of stairs, snaps his neck, and dies. No, manifesting that would probably be bad karma. And then no wonder Melania will hold his hand walking down the stairs of an airplane, right? But no, that would be a way that it would be delayed and would not involve election interference. That's all I'm saying. So if the answer is yes, then we can find out if there's I don't know what the falling down the stairs card is in the tarot deck. But let's take a look at this. Sorry, I'm not... Maybe I'm a little darker than you all realize. Okay, so this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's just take a look and see, is the inauguration going to be delayed in January 20th, 2025. Okay? Again, entertainment purposes only. This card, as I was flipping over, wanted to stay up, and the last time it did it was the freaking Page of Pentacles. I'm so tired! Page of Pentacles! This card must be warped or something. Is this card warped? It's a little warped. I think this card's warped. Of course, it's the Page of Pentacles. Why wouldn't it be the Page of Pentacles? I swear to God, if I could tear up one card out of my deck and never see again, it's going to be this damn card. I need a new deck. I was going to go to Angel Heart and get a new deck over Christmas, and I never did it. Page of Pentacles. So when I did a reading about election interference the other day, it's like, I don't think it's going to happen kind of thing. I took this card and I thought about it afterwards. This is Trump's teeny tiny crowd sizes. Where's my crowd? Oh, it's something. This came up the last time I read on it. There's something Page of Pentacles, and I even looked up the definition of Page of Pentacles, and it's like it could be the opportunities or opportunities missed. Messaging about values. There's something Page of Pentacles, and I don't know what that is, that's involving the inauguration. Now, again, if Trump gets inaugurated and this is a no card that nothing's going to delay it, he's going to have really small crowd sizes, and it's going to drive him freaking bananas. I don't know who his Sean Spicer is going to be this time around, but it's going to be amazing watching them go out there and say it's the biggest crowd sizes ever when it's demonstrably not. I really hope the media laughs them off the stage. What are we crossed with here? The celebration. Gary and I always had this with Kamala Harris celebrating. And the truth, the Sun card coming out. The truth coming out. It just... I don't know. This is a really positive card. It could just be like, here's the inauguration. Nobody's coming out to celebrate on a perfectly nice day on the East Coast. I should look at the 10-day forecast and see what it looks like, even though that's only going to take me out to the 17th. Hang on for a second. Come on back. So it only goes out like 10 days. It's going to be dang cold in D.C. You see Bernie Sanders all wrapped up again in his chair. If the inauguration goes without a hitch, maybe it's clear weather, it's clear and cold, and I don't think his crowd sizes are going to be very big. There just aren't going to be people there to celebrate. But let's keep going with this and see where it's going. So I'm asking, will it be delayed? You got the Emperor in the past, which could represent the crazy king, the mad king, Donald Trump, former president. Presidents are kings. There could be Putin issues. It could be that there's a small delay that's celebrated by the Democrats involving actions by Putin. Current situation, the 9 of coins. Good Lord. American oligarchy, money. I don't know if this is answering my question. The heartbreak and the betrayal. If it is delayed, he's going to be really upset by it. Lesson we learn is the Moon card, the mystery, across from the Emperor, across from the Putin energy card, and then the Justice card. If you want sunshine out of this reading, there could be something new that's coming forward that's celebrated, involving former actions either by Trump or Putin or something along those lines. Oh, that's talking about Susan Lin. That was actually one of the things she was talking about. Is she came up with an example like Iran, saying that, hey, we've got evidence that of election interference, and we're going to release all of it. And then Biden calls Trump and says, hey, they're going to release all this information. I can't protect you. I'll tell you what, if you just, voluntarily renounce the election results, saying, hey, I had no idea they did this. I had no part in flipping votes or anything like that, then they would put Kamala Harris in. Something like that. These cards actually fit that kind of well in a scary sort of way. The only problem I have with that is the reason why Trump wants to be president is he's trying to avoid his court cases. So the only way he would agree to that is if he was given pardons for the federal cases and, some type of guarantee that the New York case and the Georgia case don't go forward. Something like that. His total get out of jail free card. Now, could you do that with Trump? Sure. You absolutely could. Why? Because the dude he commits 5 felonies a day. All you have to do is, sit by him with a cop and he'd be able to arrest him daily for some felony. You know what I mean? Because he just can't not crime. Probably they could crush him with financial crimes related to the Donald J. Trump stock. But I digress. Was there something that could delay it? Potentially some new information comes out. Celebrated by the Democrats. Maybe involving Putin. And, this was another Kamala Harris card here. These two cards with Kamala Harris usually went hand in hand. The citizenry would look at it as a betrayal either by the person who released this information. It's, information coming out. The lesson to be learned is that what was hidden is now being exposed. And it's judicial in nature. I'm not going to say no. It is very possible something could come out and we don't know about it yet, but it's going to be revealed. It's going to be, again, an act, because this could be Biden becoming a king here. And, things will have to be decided in courts. Delay, just like Donald Trump does. I don't know what that looks like, but that fits on all this. If there's no delay, it's going to be small crowd sizes, which will be mocked. The king doesn't get all the people in there, despite he doesn't care. Well, he cares about crowd sizes. He cares about the money he gets, but the crowd sizes aren't there. He would feel betrayed, and he would go on a tirade about that. Not only would he be screaming it was the loudest crowd size ever, he would also be livid that there was nobody actually there, and then start going after people with that. That one doesn't feel as right, even though that's the much more probable answer. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, given his history and historical results, it's much more likely there's an inauguration, it's freaking cold out, not many people show up because Donald Trump is not a popular candidate, generally speaking. You think about what his crowd sizes looked like in 2016 when he was the hot ticket and fresh and new on the scene. It was like 2/3 of what President Obama had. It certainly wasn't nearly as many as the Million Woman March that happened a few days later, and then they would take that picture and say it was Trump's crowd sizes, because reasons. And now, he's 8 years older, he's loopy as a loon, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He's worried about whales and windmills and sharks and batteries and dogs and cats being eaten by folks and annexing Greenland and invading Panama. Who's going to want to go stand in the cold to hear that guy ramble on? He's been doing his rallies forever. It's the same thing. He doesn't say anything new anymore. He's a broken record. Who's going to go stand in highs of 25 degrees Fahrenheit to hear that? Heaven forbid it be windy or snowing or something along those lines. Or raining. God, can you imagine if it's like freezing rain or something like that? Nobody's going to be out there. He's going to be pissed. Be a teeny tiny crowd. I guarantee you he will have a teeny tiny crowd size for if he's inaugurated. Shall we get catty? Anybody interested in getting catty? If the inauguration is delayed, Will he have his own formal ceremony in Marl Lago? Will he throw himself his own birthday party, basically? His own surprise party. Poor Carter. You're darn right he will. He's gonna be anointed king come hell or high water. Queen of Pentacles. It's important to him. He'll invite people from around the world to attend. Yeah, and he'll serve them all McDonald's. He'll serve them McDonald's or something like that. He'll do it on the cheap. Oh yeah, he'll be hawking his fight materials. He will have. There's another card coming out. He absolutely will have an inauguration in Marl Lago if he's denied one in Washington, D.C. He may have an inauguration in Marl Lago anyways as a fundraising event where he invites a bunch of world leaders or something like that, or people of influence. Kind of like that cartoonist that got there, who left the Washington Post because Bezos wouldn't let him put up a cartoon of all these tech and tech billionaires and American oligarchs handing bags of cash to what is from the neck down a statue of Donald Trump. Somehow Bezos didn't like it because Bezos was in the cartoon. I think with the United Healthcare thing, they're a little spooked, and they don't want people drawing cartoons riling up the peasants against the lords of the land. Just saying. Will Trump have a ceremony in Marl Lago? Oh, you better believe it. He'll fundraise off of it too. Okay. If there is a delay on inauguration on January 20th, and I'm not saying there is, the energy says there's that opportunity. And I'm not seeing anything that says definitely it's not going to happen. If it does happen, again, it's going to be teeny tiny crowd sizes. Teeny tiny. Just like his misshapen mushroom. If there is a delay on January 20th, why? How would you describe the reasoning for a delay on January 20th? No Page of Pentacles. We want the Hillbilly Brawl card. No, we're going to keep going on that one. Why will there be a delay on January 20th if there is one? If there is a delay and things work out that way, why? Why? Well, here comes the sun. It's all right. Do. Information revealed. Something gets revealed. That was the underneath card over here. I was going to do a full card. I think I'm going to do something bigger. Information is revealed regarding, and it's a situation we're bound to. We can't get out of this. So, for the folks saying, and it's big government projects, it's big things. This, how some folks are saying, maybe NATO is going to come in and say something. Yeah. Let me show you how this could be NATO. Because something's revealed. Let's say Iran wants to, or Russia, but more like Iran, wants to cause mayhem in the United States. And they're going to reveal something. We're kind of being held hostage. It's going to be revealed whether we like it or not. And it's going to impact the government. That would be one thing that would do it. Another thing that it could be is if Russia does something that causes NATO to want to trigger an Article 5 response, we are bound by treaties and agreements to honor Article 5. And then the Hierophant would be NATO, because it's a big political organization or a big organization, whether it's militaries or the country, something like that. In the past, it's the Strength card. Whatever is revealed, it either shows weaknesses in the United States, or the United States has shown strength on this issue in the past and likely needs to continue showing strength. This could be, We don't want to do this, but we're stuck. We have to honor our treaties. We have to honor our agreements. Again, if it was a NATO thing, that would fit. We would be at a decision point in the country. Now, do you delay the inauguration? Do we do whatever information is coming out and we're kind of bound to it? We have to make a choice on our path forward. Do something, not do something. Agree to something, refuse to do something. It's going to happen quick. Maybe last minute type of thing. It could be, let's say, for instance, Russia launches a bunch of missiles and they hit Poland, which is a NATO country. That's Article 5 right there. Poland's spoiling for a fight anyways. And now, Poland caused an emergency session of NATO, and NATO has to declare Article 5 and declare war on Russia. That type of thing. And whatever it is, it's quick. It happens really, really quickly. And it's fighting. It's support. It's fighting, and it's supporting your allies. The strength of a unified front, something that we can easily overcome. And the outcome is the hermit, leading the way, shining the way. If this thing is delayed, it's going to be some information comes out or something happens, something's revealed. As a for instance, you have all these vessels, these shipping vessels, dragging anchors and ripping up communication cords under the seas, internet cables, other cables. Maybe some of that is cables that connect governments together to share information. There's something going on that's going to trigger a rapid response and almost like a call to arms type of thing too. And it's, terribly sorry. We got to do this type of thing. This is for entertainment purposes only. I don't want to give you false hope on this one. This would be unprecedented, but of course everything with Donald Trump is unprecedented. I don't know if I should tell you to book this under fantasies, things that bring a smile to your face and give you a little bit of hope. It's safer to assume, going off the probabilities in history, that Donald Trump will be inaugurated on January 20th, and it's going to be cold out there, and people aren't enthusiastic for him, and he's going to have teeny tiny crowd sizes, and it's going to really bother him, and he's going to have a tantrum, and then he's going to want to have a do-over one in Marl Lago where it's sunny and warm, and he can have a bunch of oligarchs over and throw a big party and grift a lot of money off of them. That's really easy to believe. It borders somewhere on unprecedented to fantastic. Is this a fantasy? Is this dream wishing? Possibly. The thing is that the Democrats keep putting out subtle messages, even when they were counting the elector ballots. The Democrats took great pains to say that there were no election deniers on their side, and that the Democrats accept the results of elections. Kind of like a teacher lecturing students or a parent lecturing a child who's been very naughty, and they're just kind of a little bit condescending. But it's also kind of like they're setting you up. The vibe I get from every time I hear them say that is the Democrats are setting the Republicans up. It's not a shaming. It's part of it's shaming, but it's shaming as part of a setup. Kind of the, we had no idea type of thing. We accept the election results. Kind of like, let's say that NATO's planning on declaring, just as an example, let's say NATO is planning on declaring Article 5, for instance, on Russia. Okay? They've been planning it for a while. You've got all this evidence. Russia keeps doing stuff. They're ready to pull the trigger on this. And but let's say Biden has communicated that to some Democratic leaderships, Kamala Harris, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, and now that's why the Democrats maybe aren't challenging things, because they're not planning on leaving while the investigations are going on, because they know that this thing's going to go on and this is going to buy Biden another 3 to 6 months as a president, or maybe Mike Johnson goes in. I don't know how it's going to work, but let's say Biden stays in. So they can now say, oh, we accept the election results. Oh, we're not going to challenge anything. Oh, we're going to accept the elector counts. Look at this peaceful transfer of power. Isn't everything kumbaya? And then when, on January 19th, when this information comes out, like, nope, Article 5, going to war, Biden's a wartime president, he can't leave. It's going to be like, oh, we were so ready to hand that power over to you. And then information starts coming about the stolen election over the next 3 to 6 months while this is all going on. And evidence starts coming out. And then you start piling on. Something like that. Again, that could be wish casting on my part. But it would fit the behavior, in the words, in the tone, in the messaging that I'm feeling with this. Again, intuition is a lot about feeling. I could be completely wrong. Again, it's minutia. I don't do minutia. I hate minutia. I like big, bold things. I like to be clunked on the head. I'm that typical guy that says, don't hint what you want. Just tell me. I like it very simple. Binary, 0, 1s. Yes, no. I like yes, no things. Yes, no things are good. Gray zones are aggravating for a lot of people. Some people really dig minutia. They become diplomats. I hate minutia. Tell me what you think. I like it simple. I'm a basic orc that way. All right. I've rambled on long enough. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Hang in there. We've got another 2 weeks to go before the inauguration. I cannot guarantee. Again, these are all free will choices, and they're beyond my pay grade and your pay grade. You can hope for the best if you like. Send light to Biden if you like. Try to prepare yourself for things if things go the way that historically they look like they will go. What I don't want to have happen is on January 20th, Trump gets inaugurated and people are saying, you said it wasn't going to happen. I read cards, I read energy, but in the end of the day, I don't get to make the choice. I'm not the president of the United States. Believe me, if I were, I would do things differently. They may not be very good. I'm not a seasoned politician. And maybe I'm way too straightforward. But that's just me. And I may not like how they do it, but I'm not in charge. I don't have to weigh all the responsibilities. I'm not responsible for all the outcomes that fall out from it. So I'm an armchair quarterback, and it's much easier in that position than it is to actually be in the decision-making position. So find what kindness you can, because you and I are not in those positions. Thank you again for watching this video, supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care.